going through them together, and then having you each point out your side, if that makes sense. Let me unmute Grider.
That
Oh, I
sounds
didn't
good.
know
I
I
think
was muted.
we should go
Yeah.
over the videos, the evidence, kind of educate the audience, the core of this case.
Yes.
Just to
So,
be clear,
go ahead.
so what I'm asserting is that there is no way that the Marines did not know what was going on. I'm not calling them liars. I'm calling them deceptive, and I mean, like, that's like, I'm the type of person where, as a veteran, like, I would give anything if I came across a veteran on the street that needed help or whatever. It's like, those are my brothers, but they're pulling everybody's chain, and they know it, and they absolutely know it, and I'm going to prove by the
See,
end of this that it's undeniable that they know it.
I was going to mention that earlier. That did spark something in me that you are essentially not, like you said, you're not dishonoring the military, but you're saying that these group of individuals are perpetuating some sort of hoax, and with knowledge of it being some sort of test and something that they could have timed and shown to the world as a UFO.
That's not what I'm no, like, I wouldn't go that far. What I am saying is that there is no way that they did not know that those are flares. There's no way. And by the end of this, it'll be really, really clear why I say that. Am I calling them liars? No, but
Yes, you
Well,
are.
I think we have to
no,
make a
I'm not.
distinction.
Not.
One second. I think we need to make a distinction before we hear them, because they either are liars and they're lying now after the event happened. And maybe I wasn't right. Maybe I didn't phrase that correctly. But a time, place, and situation arose. They got video of it and reported it to Jeremy Corbell. So somewhere along the lines, you would have to be saying that they are lying.
All right.
Correct?
They're my
Correct?
brothers, and I respect them, but somebody's lying about this. I don't know who.
Okay.
Somebody absolutely is lying. This is 100%, like, yeah, a
And
lie.
I can agree with you there. I absolutely can. I think Arthur could even
I just
agree with
want a
you
little
there.
clarity on that. Were they, because we have the witnesses reacting in live time on the video, and we also have interviews with the witnesses at a later point of time. Are you suggesting that they were lying in both of those cases, both in live time and then later down as they are interviewed at a later point in time?
Definitely not. I'm not saying anybody is specifically lying, because I do not know for a fact what that person was actually thinking and is actually thinking even nowadays. Like, I have no idea what they're thinking inside their head, if they really believe that the thing is, like, seeing IR flares, that's a rarity. So most of those soldiers, you think, oh yeah, well, they were Marines, but I guarantee you that most of them were fresh out of, basic. They were probably
You actually don't
brand
know
new
that,
Marines. They
Ryder.
didn't
We
have,
don't know what
well, I
any of
mean,
their ranks were.
they were definitely, like, lower enlisted. Absolutely. You can just tell by the way that they talk and carry themselves.
You're guessing that. I tend to agree that they sound young, but that is just a guess on our behalf at the end of the day.
Most of the people that are in the military are young. You know that, right?
They're trained Marines.
They were in training, at that time. And
It's
what,
not
in
boot camp. They're out of
2021?
boot.
I mean, yeah, but
Camp Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, Camp Wilson is a staging area for the most part. It's not just a staging area, but it's you are sent there right before you head out to the range, if I'm not mistaken. That's the intel I've gathered. So it seems like um, they would be on the younger side if I had to say, but I don't think that necessarily um, um, discounts anything.
Well,
Yeah, these guys are making life and
one
death
thing is, like,
situations, decisions. I mean, they're trusting. These guys are firing heavy weapons. They're not children. They're not idiots. Even though they might be new.
I didn't say any of that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You didn't. You did not
You
say
didn't.
that.
I'm just saying that to the audience.
Well,
So I guess
here's
why
one
don't
thing
we?
too,
Why don't
right?
we?
Like,
Go ahead.
okay, so there's a point where I don't know if it's in the interview. I think it is. Actually, no. I think it's in when they're actually having the sighting, and one of them says, "Oh, well, you don't fire flares in a 5-gun, battery." Yeah, there's no
Yes.
5 guns in a battery, but you know, if you've been downrange, then you know that, or then you do know that aircraft, drop in 5s. They drop in sets of 5. That's very, very common. So the fact that he said that, and like he couldn't identify the difference between an indirect fired, round that is a parachute flare, like that would be that's probably, well, I don't know, that could be either or really. But yeah, I mean
I'm just
that's
showing
probably
some
artillery.
examples of what
Yeah,
flares
see,
look like.
that's probably artillery. And
And then
yeah,
this.
5. See, and I mean, just look how this. Okay, well, I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah, I mean, just the fact that, and there's a couple of other points, where like the Marines kind of contradict themselves, and they kind of show that they don't really have a lot of experience. I mean, I'm not discounting, these people as soldiers, as individuals. Like, they're better than 90% of the people that are out there, than 90% of civilians. Like, they've already made the sacrifice. They've already shown that they have character, that they have integrity, that they're men. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that somebody is lying, and that's just how it is.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's leave it there. Flying a little bit high on that one. All right. So, I'm gonna give it to Arthur first. Arthur,
Yeah.
what do you want me to pull out? Or
Why don't we go
pull
through
up,
the
pull up your
videos?
first.
Why don't you go through the videos? So why don't you bring up video 1, and we'll just go through the videos of the event. All right, and we
All
can
right.
pause
So
and talk about
what
it.
I want, yes, what I was gonna say is what I want to do if we're gonna do the videos is we're gonna give you both a chance to respond to the videos. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I just want to make sure that in the media thread, it doesn't look like it's labeled.
It should say
video one.
event video 1.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, hey, so all the videos, like all the official videos, are going to be from Arthur's side.
Yep, I got it here. I'm sorry, guys. This is gonna be a learning curve. Someone's got some.
And just to put some context into this video that he's about to play, he's using a cell phone to video the night sky. So they're actually seeing a lot more than what's going to be showing up in these videos. So you're going to see some lights in the sky, but just recognize that what we see on this video is probably less than what the people on the ground are actually seeing.
All right, so we are going to go into full mode. So basically like a full screen mode. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
What is?
Okay, that's it. So that's pretty short. 17 seconds is the first video. I guess what I would comment on this is that it's very symmetrical looking. Like in this first video, it's very symmetrical and like a V formation. So that's noteworthy. And then the other thing that's noteworthy is the witness who's recording it says, "What is that?" So they at least he isn't able to identify it at that time.
Okay, Grider.
I mean, it's symmetrical right there, but why does it change shape? Like, why does it become less of a, like, why does it lose its symmetricality? I mean, I don't know, like, what's the word?
It doesn't stay in that
Symmetry.
same shape. Yeah, it doesn't stay in that exact same
there
shape.
we go. Yeah, why?
Right.
Why not? Well, I mean, what is this, like a morphing? I mean, is this like a transformer?
Well, I would just say that a lot of people have pointed to that as a example of evidence that it's not a fixed craft with fixed lights on it. So some people might be arguing that this is like a TR-3B type craft, but as you'll see in the videos, these lights do change in configuration. So it's not we can rule out that it is a fixed body craft with fixed lights on it.
And
So
why would the aliens have big bright orange lights as what would be the purpose of that?
Well, we can get to that later. Let's just go through the videos. I don't know. I can't say what their purpose was.
So this is event video
Loom rounds,
number
'cause loom rounds
2.
fall. Those are not a loom rounds because loom rounds.
All right, I want to pause it right there. Right off the bat, we have someone saying those are not Illume rounds. Now, why is it not showing you guys the videos?
It was showing it, but now it's not.
All right, I am just gonna go to the thread, honestly, for this one, because you have laid out here much
Yeah, I
better.
mean, there isn't anything in there that is personal.
So why?
identifiable information.
Those are not a loom rounds because loom rounds fall.
Okay, so those are not Illume rounds because Loom rounds fall. Why does he say that? Why? Can you explain, Grider, why a Marine in the setting that they're in would say that so quickly, so assertively?
I mean, I have no idea why he said that, but what he's saying, I mean, if that's at the beginning of the sighting, it's like these things fall pretty slowly. I mean, they only fall at, like 4 meters a second. Some even fall, at
It wasn't the
like
beginning
9
of
feet
the
a second.
sighting. So I can correct you right there. It wasn't the beginning of the
It's the
sighting.
beginning
It was
of when he looked at it, right?
no. So if you
How do
look
you
at the
know that?
timeline, if you bring
How
up
do
the
you know that?
timeline that Corbell
The
published,
timeline says these things were only up there for 10 minutes. If you want to look at the official timeline, I have that. I'm just saying.
well,
We'll get to the
but my
timeline.
point is, if we that when the recordings first started was not when the event first started. So this wasn't
Okay,
the
but the point
beginning of the
is that
event.
that guy's saying that. How long has he been watching the flares? We don't know.
We don't
right?
know. We don't know.
Okay.
And that's it. You know what? That's valid. That is, I would have to say that is valid. We don't know how long the person has been watching.
I mean,
But it just seems weird that that's the first thing out of his mouth. That's
mean,
the only. That's what
the
takes
first thing
me
that's on camera, like the first
Yeah.
thing that's on camera, like we don't know if that's the first thing out of his mouth. It's just the first
Good
thing that's
point.
on camera. The clip could be cut. The thing is that like
Good point.
I mean, yeah. It's just,
Good point.
I think it's kind of looking into it too much. And he says, oh, well, they don't shoot in a 5-gun section, which is very, very, I mean, in a 5-gun battery, it's true. A battery is, four artillery pieces, two per platoon. But, aircraft, they always drop in 5. Well, I take that back. Not always, but typically they drop in 5. And I'll have plenty of video evidence to show that that's the case here once we get on farther down the line. So
Okay, and we're watching here for 30 seconds. I see no elevation drop, no visible elevation or smoke trails. I just want to ask, is that normal?
I think it could be normal because this is only 30 seconds and you're not going to see a lot of movement in 30 seconds, even if it were flares. And we don't have a point of reference, so we can't see the mountain range. So we can't really even measure if it was falling or not.
And those are infrared flares. Those are Lu-19 flares, and I have the documents to prove this. And I have a demonstration that shows the comparison side by side of like shooting side by side in the same video of infrared and normal. So those are IR flares, and IR flares, they have a much smaller visible signature.